In this video, we're going to talk about how the Giants' Wan'Dale Robinson could be a breakout candidate coming up for the 2023 NFL season, and this video starts right now. And before we get into this video, please subscribe to the Football Head, and I'm going to read you something that happened on November 21st. This is an ESPN report. Headline: Giants wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson out for the season with a torn ACL. New York Giants rookie wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson will miss the remainder of the season after tearing the ACL in his right knee during Sunday's 31-18 loss to the Lions at MetLife Stadium, Coach Brian Daboll said Monday. Robinson's knee buckled when he was getting tackled near the home sideline on the first play of the fourth quarter. He fell to the ground and immediately began writhing in pain as he grabbed at his knee. A source told ESPN after the game the fear was that the injury was serious. It was, leaving the Giants incredibly thin in an already concerning position. Robinson's rookie season ends with 23 catches for 227 yards and a touchdown in 6 games. His injury wasn't the only significant injury suffered by the Giants player on Sunday. Starting cornerback Adoree Jackson sustained a sprained MCL. Now, back to Robinson. He was a second-round pick out of Kentucky, was having the most productive game of his career prior to the injury. He had 9 catches and 13 targets, means he was in the vicinity for 100 yards. The Giants' already struggling receiving core will now be without one of its better players for the rest of the season. They must figure it out by Thursday. Now, we know what's happened since then. They drafted Jalen Hyatt. They made the trade for Darren Waller. So they have some deep threats. So Robinson is an interesting case for a player that could have a big year. PFF names Giants' Wan'Dale Robinson a breakout candidate. Interesting. Who will be the New York Giants' breakout star this season? Will it be linebacker Kayvon Thibodeaux, last year's top pick, who showed some pass rushing prowess? Or could it be his partner, Azeez Ojulari? Last year, the breakout star was on offense, and it was a player the Giants picked up during the season. Wide receiver Isaiah Hodgins. They re-signed him to a 1-year deal, by the way. This year, it could be another wide receiver, Wan'Dale Robinson, who the folks at Pro Football Focus have identified as one of their breakout candidates in the NFC this season. Quote, Robinson's rookie season was cut short by an injury, and 220 of his 229 offensive snaps came in a 5-game stretch between games Week 6 and Week 11. However, over that span, he was targeted on 22.8% of his snaps to lead Giants receivers and rank 18th among receivers in the NFL. Robinson appeared to be on the breakout path when he went down with a torn ACL in Week 10 against Detroit. This year, however, the Giants will have a lot more mouths to feed on offense, with the addition of tight end Darren Waller and rookie Jalen Hyatt, not to mention the return of Hodgins and veteran Darius Slayton. For Robinson, this is the second time he's been named a breakout candidate. He was also previously highlighted by the Draft Network. This is what the Draft Network had to say about Robinson's chances of being a breakout candidate. Quote, going into his second season, Robinson has a chance to be a breakout star of the Giants. For one thing, the title of wide receiver 1 is still very much up for grabs despite the depth pieces New York accumulated in the offseason. For another, his youth and promising unique skill set give Jones and Kafka an exciting weapon to work with in 2023. Jones is Daniel Jones, and Mike Kafka is the Giants' offensive coordinator. Whatever the second-year receiver is able to return from his ACL injury, he could be the dynamic playmaker the Giants were missing in their receiving core late down the stretch last season. If and when he excels as he builds on the flashes of his talent he showed as a rookie, Robinson will be a big reason the Giants maintain their status as playoff contenders. End quote. Robinson has the talent speed to be a game changer for Big Blue, And given the talent around him in the Giants' offense, he may be slightly overlooked by opposing defenses. The more options you have, the better chance that players perform well. While many expected the Giants to add a true number one in the receiver in the offseason, which they really didn't do that, unless you say Waller, perhaps the belief in Robinson was a big reason why they didn't. If Robinson makes an impact in year 2, he'll add an element to the offense that the team was lacking down the stretch and into the playoffs. Now, a couple of things. Darren Waller's coming off an injury-plagued season with the Raiders. And that's why they were able to make that trade in the offseason. And Jalen Hyatt he's very talented, but he needs his skills to be, he needs a little, needs to smooth out the edges with his skills down the field. And, he can tend to be pushed around a little because he's a little slight in terms of his weight. So, Robinson can give them an extra added threat down the field. And apparently these two, PFF and the Draft Network, believe that he could be a breakout candidate. Now, if you think that, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. And of course, I thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the Football Hut. Thank you, and I'll see you later.